Hello, everyone, and good afternoon to our early dismissal virtual staff meeting for today on January 15th of 2020. So for today, I thought I would do something a little bit different instead of getting us all together for our staff meeting. And since there was an IEP meeting that is currently in progress, that I would just deliver this information via the virtual way. So there is two topics that we're going to be looking at in the course of this virtual staff meeting. So the first topic would be the follow-up for our employee engagement action plan. That is the information that you guys kind of put together in December for early dismissal day. I took that information and compiled it into an action plan, and I'll kind of review some of the plans for that. And then also our PBIS committee had been working on since September our major and minor behavior referral process, which we kind of cleared up some inconsistencies and some clarification in some areas to kind of assist with that process of writing a major or minor in the way of the referral process itself. So the first one we're going to kind of take a look at here first is the employee engagement survey action plan. So there's two goals that we'll be focusing on. So the principal supervisor led staff meetings make efficient use of time and are productive. And my principal supervisor makes the best use of available funds. I've kind of fielded a little bit of information when we've had our level meetings last month or so. So I do appreciate all of you for supplying that information to me. So I thought I would just share with you the action plan and what it would look like then working on it for the rest of this year into next year. So as we look at this for the first part here, for the principal supervisor led staff meetings, make efficient use of time and are productive. So the action steps that go along with that is to define with certified staff what a model meeting would be. So you'll be getting a survey from me in the next couple of weeks to kind of help out with that and kind of get more information from you to define what a model meeting would look like. So what would your ideal look like of a meeting here at Perry? Another part of an action step of that is that it would be teacher-led agenda items. That would be very specific to what people want to have done. I have called that actually the triage area in our level up meetings, or our level meetings, that we have discussed before. And then our specific academic or curriculum focuses that we would have for our staff meetings. So that is one area. The next area to kind of look at here for our action plan would be about budgeting, in which my principal or supervisor makes the best use of available funds. I will be reviewing that also with the staff in February and March. I have a meeting already scheduled with Mr. Brown to look at our budget for next school year at the end of this month. And as I kind of work through that process and get a tentative budget, I will share that with you to get your input. And then during grade level or innovation group meetings, we'll start to look at doing some budget planning. We started doing that with the K through 2 group to kind of look at things what we want to do with our innovation plan. And then we'll look at that also with our departments that will be upcoming in reading and math for grades 3 through 5. And then I have also looking at anything in the way of providing a rationale statement for single budget items over $1,500. This was actually came up from your suggestions in which people wanted to have things defined of why we are using money the way we are, especially with large ticket items. So I had set a number of $1,500 that things would have to have a rationale and be shared with staff then if things are recommended that way or going to be purchased out of the budget. So that would work in a way as like if there is a software program, for instance, it costs like $2,000. Why are we doing it? Staff members would have to supply a rationale and share that with other staff to kind of show like what's the purpose and what's the point of having that software package and how it's going to benefit our students. So, of course, the result of this is to just be transparent with our budget and have everyone in an understanding of what we're doing with our long-term purchases and goals. So that is the things that we have there for our employee engagement action plan. For our major and minor behavior referral process, as I had mentioned, our PBIS committee had been working since September to kind of develop this process to make it clearer for staff to understand and actually more accurate in how we kind of look at minor referrals. So we came up with best practices for minor and major referrals. This link here will go to our best practices and referrals, in which I will provide this in your email so that you'll have all this information too regarding our action plans and what is discussed here for discipline procedures. We do have a new minor form that can be completed that is in the office next to the major forms. It is a triplicate form and it follows the same format in which the pink copy goes home, the yellow copy is for the records for the teacher, and the white copy then goes to the administrator or principal so that we can enter in that information. And then the process for major referrals is listed for below, which is very similar to what we have done in the past. I would encourage all of you to kind of look at this, talk about it with your colleagues, provide some feedback to our PBIS committee. They did a lot of work on this, and they did a lot of discussion we had over the last couple of months with trying to identify things clearly for our staff. So they came up with a really good plan. But of course, if there's any feedback or any comments or questions that you guys have, please talk to a member on the PBIS committee so we can follow up with it. The last part for today is for you just to complete a feedback form. At the end of this presentation, there's a link here, so it will ask you if you want to provide any feedback about the employee engagement survey or the actual behavior parts of majors and minor referrals. If you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to kind of assist with your questions and find some support or answers along the way. Have a great day and have a great rest of your early dismissal day with your PLCs.